Good morning. Welcome, my friends. Happy Friday. Big subject today. Talking about disempowering or disempowerment of ourselves. And this topic is really near and dear and deep to my heart, for sure, because holy crap, I feel powerless in a lot of different aspects of my life. A lot. I feel like this happens over time when maybe going back to a time when we really couldn't make decisions for ourselves. Like maybe we were younger, we needed other people to provide for us. You know, like our caregivers, our parents, or whatever situation you were in. And I do feel like this is a little bit of an epidemic because when we aren't taught that we can have agency, that we can have choice, that we can be autonomous people. For example, the environment that I grew up in, I didn't really have a choice. I don't remember a whole lot to ask for help, to protect myself, to be creative, to express my own wants and needs. That was shut down, I feel like, for a very long time. And in healing, it was something that I've come back to, right? Which is dope. It's amazing. It's so good. But things happen to us. And if you're here listening and watching, and if you're in my community, likely that something shitty has happened to you too. And I think what happens is I know actually, the emotional trauma that happens when we are in situations where maybe it's repetitive. Like for me, it was definitely like a repetitive situation that was happening. It can be something that happens just one time. But if we don't fully recover from that, like if we don't heal that emotional trauma that sits with us, is that what happens is when we lose that power, we make it have meaning within ourselves about what we are. Like it turns, and this isn't like a conscious thing, like, I think I'm just going to go turn this shitty thing that happened to me into meaning about my self-worth or how I'm not good enough or whatever, like I'm really bad at relationships or it's too hard to work for love. We don't consciously do that. It's an unconscious way of our whole, like, our mind and our thoughts. It's a way of really trying to protect us in a way, but it's really trying to make sense of this state that you're put in of disempowerment. And disempowerment for me looked a lot like trying to live this cookie cutter lifestyle and be this person that I really didn't feel like I was. And it came from a lot of pressure. it came from family pressure. It came from internal pressure, which was probably like, transference from my family. Societal pressure is huge for everyone, men, women, everyone, kids even. But as I kind of drifted away from myself, that's when I kind of lost my power. And our power really resides within ourselves. Like for me, it's a lot about self-agency. It's about autonomy. It's about choice. And if we haven't healed that part that has been disempowered, it will carry with us into our adult life. So that's why sometimes that we may feel like as adults that either we don't have choice or we know that we have choice, but it is really hard to make a self-honoring decision, or our choices are driven by internal trauma-induced fear. And until we heal that part of us that has been disempowered, and maybe we didn't know, like obviously, like we're waking up here. We be waking in this community. It's not something, again, that we did like consciously. It's just something that we've grown up with. And let me tell you about empowerment. Man, that feels so good. When we go from disempowerment, which I was talking to a client about this yesterday. When we go from disempowerment, our field of vision is literally like the size of a pinpoint. Like you can't even see through. And so everything that we're thinking, everything that we do, everything that we feel, all of it just revolves around this little, like tiny little hole that we can see out of, like tiny, tiny, tiny hole. But when we start to heal, we start to open that field of vision. And that is our power. That is our space. Like autonomy is a big word for me in my healing, because I really didn't feel like I had any autonomous choice. And that's what empowerment is so dope, because you start to realize that you have choice. And all it really takes is healing, at least from my experience. Healing that emotional trauma that is keeping you in these patterns of disempowerment. Because if you're like me, you want better. You want better. You may not know that you want better, or you may not feel like you deserve it. You may feel like you're a failure. But if you are like me, some years ago when I was at my lowest and my dark night of the soul, there was something that told me that I was made for something better. And this, empowering yourself to make choices is really the first step in doing that. I hope that helps today. If you are interested in gaining back power, I have something coming up that is going to help you eliminate burnout in dating and relationships. DM me and ask me what's up, and I'll let you know. Bye, y'all.